How can emotions feel emotions? It can seem strange to see Joy, the embodiment of happiness, crying in this scene of Inside Out. After all, she's supposed to be the joyful one. How can she even experience sadness? In fact, all of the emotions of Inside Out are more than just the emotions they represent. They are characters in their own right. Just like Riley, they all experience a wide range of emotions, including crying, happiness, fear, and so on. Following this logic, each of them must have their own set of emotions inside their heads, just like Riley does. But why is this even the case? Why did the creators make these characters this way? See, here we come to the fundamental contradiction of Inside Out. As humans, we cannot perceive emotions as characters in their pure form. If the characters in Inside Out represented only one emotion, we could not empathize with them, because they wouldn't have any depth. They'd be as flat as possible. And the story would be entirely different. If Joy were always happy, she would never understand the true value of sadness. And if all the emotions constantly felt only the emotion they represent, they would never find common ground with each other. Now, it's difficult to imagine what joy is in itself. In isolation from other emotions, joy ceases to have any meaning. The same is true for all the other emotions. What is joy if you cannot experience sadness? And that is where the characters in Inside Out become more than just representations of emotions. They become real, relatable characters with whom we can empathize. We see them struggle with their own emotions, and we see them learn and grow. Despite such a massive contradiction as sad joy, it is actually essential. In fact, it can even be seen as supporting the film's central message. As you remember, the main idea of Inside Out is that all emotions are important, and it's not always good to be happy all the time. The fact that the emotions themselves experience emotions reinforces this message, since even they cannot exist without experiencing other feelings. Everything is connected. Sad joy is a paradox. On the one hand, it makes no sense. On the other hand, it makes more sense and conveys the film's meaning better than anything else. I'm not sure if the creators intended this. It's more likely that they did it simply because it was the only way to make these characters appealing to the audience. But you know, it doesn't really matter. The idea that all emotions are important leads us to a more profound philosophical question. Are there really any good or bad emotions? Perhaps they're all essentially neutral, or maybe it all depends on how a person perceives them. For example, many people romanticize sadness, and there is some truth to this. For some reason, some people want to feel sad and sometimes even suffer. Others enjoy feeling angry. Personally, I do not believe that it's worth giving in to emotions in this way. Simply, I think that it is possible to perceive them differently. After all, our consciousness is essentially neutral. Some monks can experience physical pain but not react to it because they have trained themselves to do so. They have control over their emotions and thoughts. Although the creators of Inside Out may not have intended the film to have this meaning, it does provoke such thoughts. Just as sad joy is paradoxical, so is our own life.